So when we talked about the barriers to giving feedback, one of the ones that I think is most salient is our own emotions. Now, there might be in reaction to the feedback receiver's emotions, but we bring in a lot of our own emotions. So, for example, if you've ever had somebody do something to you that just felt wrong, I mean, it was wrong, it was hurtful and it was wrong, and you're angry, and that's justifiable. Like what they did was really wrong. So I call that righteous anger. And what I would say about righteous anger is it kind of feels good because it's very pure and it's intense and pure, and you're right. The problem is if you allow that emotion to enter the feedback conversation, the chance of the feedback receiver hearing the feedback and being willing to make changes and grow and learn from that feedback really go way down. It's likely to trigger defensiveness or even anger on their part. It's just not very effective. So I'm not here to say that you shouldn't have emotions. I think that's really impossible. But I think we have to learn to manage them. So how do we manage emotions? Obviously, they're experts in training us in this, but I can tell you a couple things that I found very helpful in my professional development. And one is just naming the fact that I have an emotion, at least naming it to myself. Because if you don't recognize you're having an emotion, then your chance of regulating it, which is one of the keys of emotional intelligence, is emotional awareness and then self-regulation, is you really need to be able to know you're having it so that you have a chance of regulating it. So once you've acknowledged having the emotion, then you can make a decision about whether you want to explain how you're feeling. You can say, this made me frustrated, which is different from dumping that act of, a feeling of emotion on the person at the time. Another strategy I think that helps me is when somebody has done something that I'm now in the position of needing to give them feedback about, and their actions are very frustrating and may have been harmful to either me or to others as well. For me to be able to regulate my emotions, it's really helpful to hold what the Center for Medical Simulation colleagues call the basic assumption, which is I assume that you walked into work and you meant to do the right thing, that you did not intend to hurt people or to give the wrong medication or what have you. And so holding that basic assumption that you're caring and intelligent and you want to do the right thing helps, I think, the feedback giver have compassion for the feedback receiver, even if that person had done something that was problematic. So I think that's really important. And the last thing I would say is maintaining a stance of curiosity. I think it helps us get out of our emotions and just be curious about how and why somebody did something. And I just think that helps really decrease our arousal and our negative emotions.